Alright guys, welcome back to the Great Battle of Durgelson. This time I am the Wehrmacht. You can see my pioneers here. Actually, I realized my graphics were weird, let's say, last game. I don't know. I think the graphics were on low last game, so you'll have to excuse that. They're back to what they are normally here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So my opponent starts with no units on the field. The Russians have always been this way. I'm not. It might be modding constraints and adding a new faction. You can't do starting units, or it might just be a cool thing. Anyways, I got my pioneers here. I'm going to go with, I believe, the double build on this one, and then send them off to cap the map. Yes, here we go. My opponent says, "Good luck, have fun." I say, "Same to you." So he is actually sending his first squad of Ingeni out to cap right away, as opposed to making the Red Army mustering tent. And he's going to use his second squad. If you recall, he actually did a similar thing as the Wehrmacht in the last game. Excuse me. Using his second Pioneer squad to construct the Wehrmacht quarters and sending his first Pioneer squad out to cap. So we seem to be having a repeat, except he's actually going to go with the 3 Ingeni start. Our third Ingeni unit is on the field, 4 Soviet soldiers armed with Mosin-Nagant rifles. I remember there was one patch, because these guys get airborne armor, I believe, is better than but there's one patch where these guys were super OP, and you would just, like, Ingeni spam, but, like, it's not like German armor where you could guarantee the armor either. Like, right, you can, with pyro spam, one of the big things is, hey, you can get them all elite armor. That's a big deal. But these guys were just so good that, I think it was one of the earlier patches for this, maybe 1.4. I've played Eastern Front at least a little in every iteration it's been in. Yeah, I mean, I'll guess like 1.3 or 1.4 something. Ingeni were super OP at one point. It was really funny. Now they are just really your standard run-of-the-mill engineer units with a couple more options for upgrades. If you get the Soviet tech building, which I don't think I managed to get around to in last game. It's definitely more of a late-game investment. Usually, trying to think, the most common upgrade I get there would probably either be the one that allows the unlocking of the T-34-85, a T-34 with a gun battery against tanks as opposed to infantry, or the one that's just like a supply yard upgrade, basically. Both of those, I would say, I get fairly commonly. Anyways, our opponent is moving right away with 2 Ingeni squads and his command squad in pursuit. One of the key things of that Ingeni spam strategy I mentioned earlier was that you could build your command squad as well, because back then the Soviets couldn't retreat, so you needed to use heroic charge to do everything. Over here, I'm attacking this force pretty well as they cap, killing them quite easily. So, but now you need to build the barracks before you can create these guys. So he is winning this engagement. He is going to force me to retreat and have my Volks. I'm going to try and have my MG come around and cut them off and suppress his guys. I actually managed to kill his Ingeni over here, the entire squad, which is a rather large early victory for me. And now I'm going to set up the MG. This arc of fire should be able to get them all. Ooh, I take a bit to fire there, and I'm going to have to retreat. Maybe I should have just ran inside the house. That might have been better at this point, as without petrol bombs on either of these squads, even if he had them unlocked, he would have no way to force me out, really. At least without taking heavy casualties and likely getting pinned. So he's got 1 squad, and now 2 squads of conscripts out, whereas I'm getting my second Volks Grenadier. Volks Grenadiers, as we saw, can be very effective against the Russians. He's also trying to wire off this little passage by my base here. I wasn't quite sure what the strategy was that was, but I don't know. I just assumed that, hey, maybe he wants me to take a little more time. So once I engage, I'm going to set up my MG here to force these guys off easily. In fact, they're forced off without the need for my MG, with just my Volks. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the wire to prevent further noises. While this is all happening, mind you, I am capping fairly deep into this part of the map with my Pioneer squad. I could have gone for the cutoff, but I figured I could actually probably secure this +10 for a little bit of time if I plant a mine here. Like, maybe I don't plant the mine right there. I might do something else with my munitions, but I think I might plant one there later at least. I just want to go in and cap my cutoff, even though it's not doing that much, well under conscript fire, because conscript fire, honestly, not that scary. You got a bunch of dopey guys sitting around back here with their arms out, who are scripted to die first, and only 4 guys with guns. This squad is taking heavy casualties, and as soon as the MG opens up, obviously they got to get out of there.
We are losing ground.
he's finally kind of capping back in this sector of the map. So I think I'm going to go harass him I'm going to set up the second MG to prevent him from capping the point and go attack him with the Pioneer squad while I secure this location. I really should be capping these points with the Volks instead of just having them sit there while the Pioneer caps. It looks like they ran into a mine as well and just barely made it out. They need a med kit, that's for sure. Over here, I get my Pioneers behind the points because it does provide yellow cover. Something people often forget is that the points themselves are actually cover in a lot of cases. And so I'm going to have them attack the conscripts, and they actually take quite a bit of damage for fighting a suppressed squad, but eventually these guys get pinned. And I get these guys out of here just to be safe, but really I probably could have let them stick around. Those guys were pinned. Anyways, I'm finally remembering to cap here. These guys are like 2 health. This is what I mean by my micro's bad. Generally, when I play, I like to shift click. If I'm capping, I shift click a shit ton of capping orders, like just see how far they get before I have to react, right? And I didn't really do that in this case, but we're still capping our half of the map, and we still got these 2 points over here. And I'm going to get my second MG over here to hopefully prevent any flanks, because I want to secure this location. Quite a bit of valuable points on this side, obviously. Our opponent advances with his command squad. He deals some pretty good casualties, these Volks. I'm going to get them out here just to be safe. However, with this setup like it is, you'll see it can basically, like, he has to go a really long way to flank this in this position, and it has green cover. So, really, I think I forgot to wire this off. I got distracted. You saw I wired this off that game, and it's less important to prevent flanks in that way as the Russians as the Germans, but I forgot to wire that off, which would have been nice, but I will probably use some mine coverage at some point to try and help shore up my flanks. I also have my sniper out. I don't always buy a sniper against Russians, but I like to do it, especially when they go command squad, because that command squad can be a bitch to reinforce. I'm letting my guys stand in petrol for a few seconds, which isn't good, but like I said, this thing has a really encompassing arc of fire, so it's dealing with them over there, and my sniper is going to get a couple nice shots and basically should convince these conscripts to get the hell out fairly hastily. I almost lose that Volk squad. I say that roughly. I mean, I was actually watching that fight, so I wasn't really in danger of losing them unless he got some lucky crits, but they definitely get out there with low health. I've got my other Volks sitting in the base. I have hit tier 2 now. My opponent actually has all 3 of his buildings up, and he has built a squad of Strelki, as you can see here. No guards, presumably because you need an upgrade in these buildings as well, not just buildings, so presumably because he had no tank hull upgrade. Only the support. Okay, so the Strelki are going to come mid and attack me here. These Ingrid, I guess they were scouting to see what I was doing, and came quite close to the base. I managed to scare them off, cause some damage. One thing you want to do when you're scouting, oh, I was so upset that happened. Like, it probably wasn't worth, I remember that. It probably wasn't even worth trying to get that VP, but I just felt like snagging it to swing the VP race in my favor, and that just did not work out well. I've got my bunker up here, kind of just in time as these guys show up, and I'm assuming I can catch him, and I realize, no, I can't. Let's run inside the bunker. I don't know why the hell I didn't turn these guys around. Probably because I figured the bunker would be enough, and I was kind of expecting a flank because he sent one squad in against an MG. I have to assume that was my logic. And yeah, so I guess I am going to go ahead and turn around once I realize no other squads appear to be coming. Ooh, and my sniper even tags a guy on retreat, so he just took some damage there with not a lot of gain, and this is going to get upgraded to a med bunker, all the better for the Wehrmacht player, as I'm sure many people know. I'm also constructing my Krieg barracks in the center here, and I see the command squad coming. The command squad are a detector unit, which, I mean, they're kind of a counter to the sniper. On the other hand, I think sniping command squads is quite good because compared to most Russian squads, they don't have a lot of troops. At only 5, Strelki and conscripts both have more. I'm going to plant the mines here to cover some flanks. My opponent's coming around here with Strelki. I still haven't capped this point, which is a problem, because if I'm going to make this side my focus, I should really try and cap everything. I'm coming down the middle here with my Volksgrens to harass these conscripts. These guys planted the mine, aren't doing shit all. So I'm going to send these guys over, see what's up, and yes, I do run into Russians. I was presumably planning on capping this, and I really hope I'm not dumb enough to just... Okay. So, I guess I'm just going to go for the cap under fire, which is really no good. These guys are just taking way too much damage. I need to get my sniper. Alright, I retreated him. My sniper could have done some nice work, but hopefully I can, in fact, tag these guys and suppress them, because that was just a lot of manpower and health damage came from that Strelki squad with nothing in return. And I am going to open up on them with the MG, and with no supporting squads, the We got some conscripts up here, but with no supporting squads at the time, they can't do much. I'm just staying here and harassing with these Volkswagens. I think maybe I overestimated, because Volkswagens did shit on me last game, so I was kind of overestimating their damage against the Russians. But on the other hand, I realized how effective harassing Volks can be, and how just annoying for the Russian player. However, against these PPS 43 MGs, they are not going to live long. Ooh, and is this squad going to get away? Run, Hans, run! Hans, run! It's the Russian command squad. Little joke for all you Magic players out there. But this flank is staying fairly secured. I'm finally capping this point over here. I've got my first squad of grenadiers out. Also creating a campcraft center. Likely going to pick up some infantry vet. As I mentioned earlier, it's not a rare thing to pick up infantry vet by enemies. These guys are going to hit this mine. Ooh! If only my sniper was a little closer. That is a dead command squad. And it takes me a second to notice with those guys, if I even did notice. But basically, I really value resiliency highly. So the elite armor that your grenadiers and the health bonuses, Grens get health bonuses at 3. I think Volks get them at least at 1, if not 2. The resiliency bonuses to your infantry really can swing the tides of fights. Obviously, you're a little more vulnerable to some weapons. Flamers and snipers being the 2 I can think of with elite armor, but in general, it's just a big improvement to your fighting force. He's sending in a unit of Strelki as well, and I've picked up some MP40 Volks, and yeah, it turns out they're just as good for me as they were for him. Look at them just eat the Strelki squad. Unvetted Volks with MP40s. To be fair, I did have the advantage of light cover, but it's still fairly impressive the work they can do. I've got my snipers in here. I'm planting some mines here. Probably going to plant another one around here. I'm going to move into the middle here, and I should not be capping this point because I'm just going to take way too much damage, and I think I noticed that and get out of there just as he throws the petrol as well. Try and get to some cover here. Have my grenadiers support me. We've got Vet 1 conscripts up against Vet 1 grenadiers and Volks, and his guys are going to walk in and just really take not too much damage, and my destroyer just fell out. My destroyer is a piece of shit. This might have happened in a couple videos already, but it's basically in there just for show. And these Volks grenadiers are going to start picking up. I'm going to move these MP40 Volks closer so they can actually do some work, but then he petrol bombs, and that might have been a little bit of a hasty retreat. I probably could afford to just move them back, but I just really needed them to delay for a couple more seconds as I got my MG up here. And is this where I do something really dumb with my sniper? Well, not really dumb, I guess really unlucky. Basically, I should be moving the sniper a little more. I think I was microing my MGs a little too much, because he is standing a little closer to the fight than he needs to. The sniper, as you may guess, has a fairly impressive gun range, and you really want to take advantage of that. These guys, like, I'm just being very idle with my pyros, which is not good. Especially when they're idle like this, like when they're stacked on top of each other. The only way that really happens is when they're building crap, like 1 or 2 brick sandbags or planting mines, and so your opponent can really tell. However, I am going to grab this middle VP, and I think I now have 2 squads of grenadiers. Is it safe to say? No, I only have 1. Am I building? I'm getting the Vet 2 infantry is the major purchase. I'm going to wire off over here just to kind of force him to take a more central route, be a general annoyance. I am planting mines over here. I think this is a pretty good mine. This is the only real cover coming in here until you hit these trees. And not only that, it encompasses actually a couple angles. They might take their attack, so going to mine there. My opponent is advancing with an unreinforced conscript squads. One of them Vet 1. Come on, you can reinforce the Vet 1 squads. It's cheap. He's going to advance on the center, and I've got an MG set up on the center, not to mention my sniper, who now has 7 kills. And I think he's just going to start doing work against these conscripts in the house. However, as I cap over here, you see a large Russian force, missing my mind completely, boo, which look like they might be coming to flank. So I see it coming, so I'm going to have time to turn my MGs. I'm going to have time to turn my MGs, I say. Here we go. And I'm just going to keep this guy plinking in the house. However, I know they're advancing, but I just kind of like the idea of dealing them damage in the house, and I didn't think they would get through my MG, but one burst is there's no suppression, and my opponent is actually calling down artillery now. I'm going to have to retreat both these squads with this MG back here. My sniper is not covered. That is that is the command squad artillery, by the way, so no doctrinal abilities. And my command squad, my guy's now revealed, but still walking cloaked. And then I freak out, and I retreat, and he goes through all the Russian infantry. He might have been dead anyways had he taken the road, but I would have felt a lot more comfortable. So yeah, bad retreat path. And I lose an MG as well as he just runs around me. Not only that, he's got the T-34 coming in to back it up. These Volks are Vet 2 though, so I'm going to try and keep him in close range, but no, they go down. There's just too much Russian infantry. His command squad is now Vet 2. Giving access abilities, and he's going to go after my medic bunker. I'm going to keep these pioneers here. I mean, until he decides to attack them, they're going to just try and deal some damage against his Ingerny. He starts capping in front of him, which is a little poor. That's one way these pioneers are actually going to deal some damage. He also ignores the medics as he sends the T-34 in for a base rush. So I really need to get these Shrek Grens back to help, but these other Grens should be enough to push off these low health units. I also get a squad of zombie grunts. He's really been feeding that medic bunker. I'm going to run this MG into the bunker, and I think I forget about it there for a while, which is really bad. Mostly just to keep it safe against T-34. I definitely want these guys. I definitely want the pack I just constructed. And I kind of want these guys as well in case I have to FOSS it. Over here, you can tell he's definitely not microing this because his Vet 2 command squad is about to go down. I throw the grenade because I really want it dead, and it gets it. And now, I'm in trouble here because this Gren squad is still not working. As you can see, I was kind of microing this fight as he was kind of microing this fight, which is why certain people won it and certain people not. I got to turn this pack around because I can always recruit with the Volks, but that's still only a good bet. And I'm just getting super lucky here because he misses that T-34 shot. I have these Shrek Grens coming as well. And now it's running away with its rear armor exposed, and I should be able to take this out with a little bit of luck. Ooh, there's the damaged engine. That is a dead T-34 as I recover over here. He did not manage to cap any points. He was going for the cutoff when these heroic pioneers here forced him away when the arrival of the ground squads just made absolute. And there's the main gun destroyed, plus the damaged engine. It got 8 kills, but this T-34 is about to go down to these Shrek Grens. Come on, shoot! Oh my god. Guys, you're making me look like a fool here. I think I'm going to get these pios on repairing this bunker fairly soon. I have not chosen a doctrine, so it is not, let's say, a lot stronger because it might be a defensive doctrine. He is in the middle, not capping. I seem to be capping, but he's got another T-34 there. So I get the pack set up here to start taking some pot shots at it, I believe. Or just to kind of cover that flank because I've got the Shrek Grens on this flank. And now he's capping with these conscripts in the middle. I've just got these Grens sitting here. I should probably make a more concentrated play, but I am still fearful of armor. But with double Vet 2 Shrek Grens, and I think that was a retreating squad from like over here. Yeah, that was a retreating squad that went down there to the T-34. I finally realized I left this MG in the thing, so I'm going to go reinforce that, hopefully. I've still got this pack. I've got 1 squad of Volks. I've got 2 squads of Grens, but not a huge army. My opponent, on the other hand, has his medical truck. Basically a triage, like I said. It's effectively is a triage. He looks like he has the red banner upgrade from the Soviet armory for his Strelky here. Wonder if I can pick out what weapons they have. It doesn't look like he upgraded the weapons, or are those PPS? I think this might be 2 separate. Yeah, okay, so we've got 1 squad upgraded with the PPS, or PPD. One of those SMGs. Ooh, and he almost loses that conscript squad. Vet 1 conscripts almost go down throwing that petrol bomb, which really does nothing because my guys weren't even standing in cover. They were just kind of standing to one side of the road. But he's got these 2. Now they both have the PPSH-41 submachine guns, and they're both going to run into these mines as well. One gets pinned, the other gets suppressed, and my Grens are going to be able to turn around and focus them. I turn this MG just to make sure they don't try and go any farther with that. I still got the pack here to hopefully cover me against vehicle flanks. Vehicular flanks, if you will. These guys are pinned, so I don't know why they're in here. He's about to lose a Red Banner Strelky squad. He manages to retreat them out of there in time. Perhaps a little more focus fire on my part could have ended those guys' lives a little quicker. And he's going to get those guys out of there as well. 2 heavily damaged Strelky squads. He's also got a couple squads of conscripts back at base. 1 Ingerny, who have planted a little bit of a mine here to prevent harassment. And his T-34-76, which I have all the Shreks basically because however, I do notice that he's using large hordes of infantry over. I don't even know if I've seen the second T-34 yet, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these guys because I lost an actual MG, which I guess I rebuild. Or just recruit. Yeah, one of these guys is Volks, so I recruit the MG I lost over here at some point. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up the LMG 42 upgrade for my Grens. Probably throw them in this house to give them a little more effective attention. Anyways, I'm going to move up with my forces here. Try and set up. As you can see, it's not quite the same as an actual MG. No setup time, but it can only fire when stationary. Ooh, and petrol there. I gotta get these guys out of here. Don't tell me to lose this MG again. Run! He manages to make it out of there against these marauding Russian infantry. I gotta retreat this one Gren squad. They are resilient, but they will not win the fight quickly. Or lose the fight quickly. So I want to bait them a little farther just into this MG, and that works out. I'm able to get the suppression here. These retreating piles, they just love retreating this way. I'm not sure why. I mean, hey, I guess the game knows best, but a lot of times it's a little annoying. And he's got more Red Banner Strelki coming in. His Strelki force, I believe he has 4 units of Strelki at this point. I must have killed at least a couple conscripts. He's just got, and here they come. This MG is not turned. I'm not prepared for this. I've only got a 3-man Streckgrens. Oh, it looks like I have chosen a Doctrine, though. Terror. This would be a good time to prop war if I had it available. And not only that, classic Panzerschreck, destroying your own unit's cover. He's going to go ahead and use a Doctrinal ability. I believe that is the Sprint for Stalin, as it's not a heroic charge because I don't see conscript. So I'm going to get these guys behind the T-34 and just hope to get lucky here, basically. However, he does notice me. He's focusing me with that squad. It looks like we both miss, and my MG goes down, and will the squad, elite armor, get away? Come on. And it looks like they're going to make it away, but this is a major victory for my opponent here. I got to get this pack out of here, unless I get ballsy and decide to go after the T-34. I brought it around to fight. It was a little too late. Here comes my infantry. I've even got the MG to set up. I just want to get a little closer. And it looks like I'm set up in this position to hopefully, oh, I'm moving it closer. I don't know why I'm moving it closer. I should be good there. To get this T-34 as it runs, and there's a couple shots. I just got to get a few more shots with these Shreks, maybe a Faust in there, and I can take this thing out. And yes, it goes down to the Panzerfaust here, I believe. Yes, indeed. That'll be a nice moment for these Volks Grenadiers to welcome. On the other hand, it looks like my opponent is either coming in to harass. No, it looks like he's going for scouting measures again, as a good time to come in, I guess, although it's over here. As I'm now putting up my Panzer Command, I need to reinforce this squad, and probably heal it after reinforce. I think I underused medkits a little in this game. I think if I used medkits a little more, I would have been a little better off. But I've got my infantry here waiting to support as I go for this middle VP. And, yeah, these guys on their scouting mission get caught in bunker MG fire and actually almost die. He almost lost that squad. We see a large amount of Russian. We got guards. We got Red Banner Strelki, 2 of which are upgraded with MGs. We've also got 2 squads of conscripts still at home reinforcing and getting healed by the medical truck. So I see them coming. I got to get this pack the hell out of there. I'm not sure what I'm microing, but it was not what I need to be microing. I've also got to retreat these guys. Yes, this pack needs to get the fuck out of there. Alright, I finally noticed and start walking away as it gets decloaked. Oh boy, and I'm going to throw the grenade to hopefully try and get them out of here. And classic Gren grenade, yeah, basically did nothing. Got to retreat both those infantry squads. This pack is now basically dead meat. I've got Pioneers over here just trying to heal the bunker as I have to retreat those Grens. I do have this MG set up to support the bunker, and but my Pioneers go down. My main hope at this point is that he's got nothing that can handle the, yeah, there's nothing that can destroy the bunker at least for a moment. I've got to also get this MG out here because the guards make it around. I do have the Panther out. Now, the reason I went for the Panther is twofold. Firstly, I know I just lost the pack, so he has some AT available, although I started building it before then, but this is why it's a good decision. But basically, like I said, I really value resiliency over anything else. So we got some zombie grunts here. He did not shoot the medics. Guys, when you're that close, you got to shoot the medics. But he did take my MG. But basically, yeah, so he's got the pack. But basically, the reason I value resiliency higher is because, especially with, like, no AT, like, an Ostwind objectively might have been better in this infantry spam situation, but I know this thing is going to last me longer, and I play for the long, grindy games when I play Wehr, and when I have the resources to get a Panther, I tend to go for it. And it's doing pretty well against infantry. It's generally not great against infantry, but it's doing a little work. We've still got the guards down here rather unmolested, but I'm taking pot shots at these veteran Strelki. I've got this Volks up here. And what is that? Oh, and now I'm getting shot by the pack. But there's some ability of, I'm guessing, these guys. It slows. And I realized I'm getting shot by the pack, whose shells I was hoping I could bounce, but I was not at the correct angle. So now I've got to move back. He's got really no AT other than things, so as long as I'm facing straight, I know I'm going to bounce the shells. His guys are now walking in. I've got an MG set up that should help a little, and I'm able to push these infantry off. They got my cutoff, but the medic bunker still stands. I got my pack. I almost got my Panther. I mean, I was a little ballsy with that. Like, I was microing my Panther, but I was still a little ballsy. I kind of overestimated its strength a little, but I felt it was maybe appropriate at the time. We've got Red Banner Strelky coming in here again to harass my Captain troops, and they're going to go down. Ooh, and he's now calling in the IL-2 Sturmovik something run. I don't know. It's a bunch of... It's basically like strafe times 8, and if you guys get caught in it, it's very deadly. We've now got AT squads out coming in. I got to get these Grens out of here. I wanted to go rescue that pack from the evil communists, but it's not working out. Get a couple of Shrek shots out. I got to get the squad out of there. I actually went double Shrek. Generally, I don't like going double Shrek on a squad. I guess I'm going to say I did that after I lost the pack to shore up some AT a little. I am repairing my Panther base, but it's taken a while with only one Pioneer. And here come all the troops. Ooh, and that mine finally pays off. I think he lost a squad there. This guy almost dies from the run, and my medic bunker does go down to it. Even though I thought it was just machine gun fire, but this MG is going to stay alive and basically force these troops off once again with very low numbers. We've got another blob. Like, he's just alternating infantry blobs. We've got the guards and Strelky here, and the conscripts and AT here. He also, that's the MG he snatched earlier from me, I believe, but he's got to get it over there. And now I'm going to walk up here. Oh, these guys are so low. I could have this pack so easily, but I'm not going to pursue free. I should at least be capping this. Come on. This guy, I think I'm going to retreat at some point. I guess I'm being a little reluctant to retreat just because I'm a little afraid. I need the suppression. I only have the one MG squad, obviously, as he stole one. And I've got no medic bunker to hide in / around. So now after I recap my cutoff, I still have more of the map capped than him, excluding VPs. He's going to walk back in here with all his guys, and I'm just going to try and set these up. My infantry are now vet 3, giving them an extra bit of resiliency, and you just see the bullets flying as the Russians advance. They're focus firing this double Shrek squad. I'm going to throw the grenade here, and that's actually a pretty good grenade. It only killed one guy, but it chunks close to half their health. And what more can you want from grenades? They're not the pineapples, guys. And now his squad's going to turn around to try and focus this, but all his running around squads are much less accurate and deadly on the move. And ooh, that is an actual grenade, because that is a guard squad. They're going to take out quite a few of my guys, but he's still going to lose this engagement. I should probably go cap this or advance with this squad or something. Back home, I'm still repairing my Panther. I've got quite a few guys to reinforce, but I also have the King Tiger available now. So we'll see what I do here, and I just go for the King Tiger. I think this is the point where I decided I've just shredded large amounts of his infantry. I want to make the play. These guys are just going here to cap, harass level with the caps. These guys are capping this VP. That basically I want to make the armored assault. It's time for the armored assault. I've got 2 very durable tanks, both superior against armor than infantry. To be fair, like an Ostwind and a Tiger would kill the troops more easily, but both highly resilient. With the amount of AT I've seen, I don't really fear for their safety. So I'm going to go drive up here. I'm going to use my Panther to just see exactly what the extent of his forces coming are. Ooh, and that was a nice, that was a Tiger-esque King Tiger shot there. He's going to go ahead and use whatever the hell that is that slows my Panther. He's got an AT squad here. Looks to be unupgraded though. I'm just going to push him around a little with my KT because they've only got 1 PTRD. I don't know why the hell I retreated these guys. I guess an overreaction because they were very healthy and those are only conscripts. And I just let my tank shoot at those for a while. My manpower income is basically cut in half as a result of that King Tiger. So I'm taking a little while to reinforce over here. But yeah, I'm just really confident in my tanks. As far as I know, he's only got that pack, and without the cloaking bonus available to the Wehrmacht, ooh, and he goes down, attempting to cap my cutoff, dropping the PTRD. Here come more troops, probably aiming for the cutoff, but now I finally have infantry available. Is this that? No, that is just a normal, what you generally should do, single Shrek squad there. So yeah, I can just kind of push him around with my tanks, send this one over here to maybe pick off some retreating guys, as it does quite nicely. Nice work there, Panther crew. This squad at mid, I gotta get out of there though. There's Vet 2 Red Banner Strelky with their deadly SMGs, not to mention a unit of Vet 1 guards who have quite a few kills to their name each. Both of those, however, have no real anti-tank capabilities. I'm going to pick up this PTRD with my Shrek squad, and I'm just going to basically let my Panther sit here in mid, and hopefully kill some of these guys while they cap. Nope, doesn't work. I'm going to go for the push, but it's a little too late to try and push them off capping the point. But now I've got Grens and tanks advancing. I've got the advantage in VPs at the moment from that Volk squad I sent over earlier. These guys are all just sitting around. Hopefully I'm reinforcing them. Doesn't even look like I'm reinforcing because I have the manpower. I've even got a full hull squad sitting there. But I'm going to cap this here. My opponent has an Su-85 tank destroyer on the field. I'm going to get this LMG squad into the house to hopefully fend off some infantry. Let's see. We've just got the rifle out the window that matters, but whatever. I've got my tanks over here. He's being very ballsy with these guards. They are capping. They might be Vet 2. Ooh, he's 1 health. You might lose this Vet 2 squad. Even a machine gun burst could do it, but he's... Oh, and he retreats too soon. He lost the game of chicken on that one. It looks like he could have finished capping. The pack is here, now fully reinforced and such. But I've got 2 tanks, and both of these tanks, unless they get hit by the rear armor without the cloaking bonus, the pack just really doesn't pen them that well, quite honestly. The Panther and the King Tiger, I'm actually going to have my Panther shoot over here, and I'm going to hit the Shrek up. Shreks just maul this thing. And this won't die for some reason, and my King Tiger did a weird thing with its turret. I don't know why it turned over there, but this should go down here to my Panther shot. And Ekchong Panther, there we go, goes down, almost gets away, and a nice Shrek shot there, blows up the pack. I probably would have, nah, at this point with the infantry bulb, I probably would have attack grounded if I just killed the troops. But now he has just no real AT, just a bunch of infantry walking up here. Not only that, but he moved his thing closer up. So I'm going to probably target with my King Tiger and take out the investment he made in his military. Also going to roll this down in case I feel like going for a base rip later. I'm going to bait these infantry around with my Grens a little. This squad I get out of the house in case I have to get them into the fight. Bring his infantry over here where they're a little farther away from support. I'm going to have my Panther come and just try and deal some damage. And I find the outpost that is both an OP and a bunker-esque structure. Allows reinforcing and garrisoning the Soviets have to build. I do have to get these guys out here eventually. They are resilient, but there are a lot of guys. Although, it probably would have been worth staying in there to try and focus fire some of these really low health squads down. But I'm comfortable just having my Panther beat these guys. Well, my King Tiger, like I said, goes after the medic truck and then the base. I've got large amounts of infantry I finally remember to reinforce, as well as an MG I finally reinforced, so that's waiting home. All just kind of waiting around mid here. It looks like that is another PTRD from the anti-tank squad. I do want to get this King Tiger repaired just in case something a little crazy happens. I think he has gone breakthrough. Yeah, I know he's gone breakthrough at this point because he used the sprint ability and the IL-2 earlier. However, it's unlikely because of that he's gotten all the way down to the other side of the tree to get his super tank, whether it be the ISU-152 or the IS-3 to combat my King Tiger. So I just feel really comfortable at this point. I basically kind of played the control deck game in Company of Heroes, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to prop war these guys away, mostly so I can just focus on taking out these vetted squads without interruptions, and I do. Both those guys go down. These guys are really low. My opponent calls in an Su-85. So, yeah, that's breakthrough. I preferred the KV-1. My opponent is using the Su-85, and here his troops come. And, yeah, it's just going to get, before it can do much good, I have my pirates preparing. It's just going to get taken out by my tanks. Only got 1, maybe 2 shots off, and my opponent calls GG, and I call GG right back. In case you're wondering what happened in the series, basically the same thing as game 1 happened the next game because my opponent had more VPs. Yeah, and so I lost. I liked game 1 more because I thought both of us played a little better game 1. Game 3 was kind of a shit show with just like I made awful micro mistakes. I didn't adapt properly. But yeah, that was the game. I went for a very classic Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 4 terror, vetted infantry, med bunker shenanigans strategy, and it worked out. So thank you guys for watching these games of the Eastern Front mod, and I hope you will join me again soon.